Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be creating this warm toasty look. If you want to learn this look, please keep watching. I'm going to start off by priming my face with the Wild Rose Smoothie Primer. Love this stuff. So soft. Now that my face is nice and primed, I'm going to go in with my Radiance Awakening Foundation by YSL. I'm going to just use 1.5 pumps, as I always do. Just going to paint that right on. I'm going to go ahead and contour my face with the Graftobian palette, and I'm going to use the shade in Deep. It's really nice warm brown, and I'm just going to go ahead and contour. And I only contour the tip of my nose because that's the area that I feel like I want to be more defined. This concealer is really creamy, so it will settle in my skin, and I'm going to be able to work back into it. I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out with my e.l.f. stipple brush. Just go right into the hairline. Then I'm just going to go back in with my beauty blender and make sure that there's no harsh lines with the contour, because it is a deeper color and just want to make sure that it looks seamless. And I do like a full coverage under my eyes, so I'm going to use the Too Faced multi-use concealer and just go right underneath my eyes. I feel like you don't really have to go back into the bottle and pick up more concealer, because just one swipe of it distributes so much concealer. You can choose to use the beauty blender, your finger, or a brush. Even there's like so many other tools that you can use to blend your concealer. I personally like to use my MAC 170 brush and just buff that right in there, because I want the most coverage possible. If I was in a rush and I didn't want to do all of this stuff, I would probably go in with my beauty blender. But I feel like a lot of the product gets wasted in that tool. So I'm just gonna make sure I work fast so that the product doesn't settle in too quickly. With my mini beauty blender, I'm gonna go in and blend the Cupid's bow. So like it's easier and I have more control. With the mini sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and blend closer to the tear ducts, because I feel like I have way more control and I won't hurt my eyes or get product in my contact lenses. Take a little bit of what's left in there and I'll bring it closer to my nose so that I can blend out the darkness of the nose contour. Like that helps a little bit. Make it look a little more natural. And then I like to take what's left on the beauty blender and I like to go over my eyelids, because I'll use that to prime basically as a primer to my eyeshadows. And that way I don't have to use other primers and waste money on pointless primers. Like it pretty much works the same for me. I've never had an issue with using my concealer as my primer. Make sure that everything is blended. You can also use the MAC 170 brush to make all these lines meet. And go a little bit over the contoured areas because they're so enhanced right now. But when I use the setting powder, it's gonna make everything look a little more natural. Everything feels really nice and seamless, so I'm gonna go ahead now and set my makeup in place before the concealer creases. So I'm gonna take that Hourglass setting powder and I'm gonna lightly place that underneath my eyes. And just remember, the longer you leave the setting powder on, the brighter your under eye is going to be. I like that look as well, but that can be a setback for photography and also for bridal makeup, unless you're using some kind of like HD non-flash bag powder. So I don't recommend it if it's like for a photo shoot. I don't recommend a really bright under eye. It's gonna show really bright in your pictures. And I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face with a little more of that Hourglass setting powder, because it is translucent and it's really lightweight. So it's not gonna add more color onto your face. You know, all the colors that you use beforehand are gonna stay right in place, which is what I love about the powder. And I feel like it's not too drying, so I feel like it does look really gorgeous in the end. I'm going to bring that into my eyes as well, so that when I do my eyeshadows, it doesn't blotch on as soon as I pick up the first color. Using the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette for this look. So taking that shade, I went into my crease very lightly with a really fluffy brush and just doing side swiping motions and circling out in the ends. Get a nice finish. I'm going to go all the way into my crease with this. Then I'm going to take the shade in Stroke and go back into my crease with my M562 Morphe brush. And this is a tiny crease brush. It's my favorite little crease brush. And I'm just going to deepen the crease with that shade. Also going to go in all the way with this. Get a nice precise line. Notice how this is not going in so harsh. You're going in very gentle, but it's still nice and deep. I'm going to take my NARS brush and I'm just going to soften that edge. I believe this is the 13 brush. I'm going to take the shade in Drizzle using my Dose of Colors pencil brush, and I'm just going to go right in the edges of my crease. I'm not going to go all the way in with this shade. I'm going to softly apply this to the corners of my eyes. Then I'm just going to pick up my M562 brush by Morphe and softly blend that crease out again. Just going to line my eyes with the NYX That's the Point Hella Fine Liquid Liner. And I'm just going to create a small wing. I'm picking up the shade in Parched, and it's a really light base color, and I'm going to just apply that onto my lid. And I felt like with my finger I got an even brighter result, so it looks really good. But I will go ahead and take a flat brush just so that I have a better placement. I'm just going to go in right into my tear ducts just to brighten them, because I didn't feel like doing a shimmer on there today. Just want to keep this nice and matte. And also right beneath my brow bone. With a little flat brush, I'm just going to repeat the same steps and take the first shade right underneath my drop shadow area. Using a little flat brush, that's what works for my under eyes. And I'm able to get the color right where I need it. I'm going to take the shade in Stroke and add that right underneath as well. I'm going to finish it off by adding the shade Drizzle very close to my waterline, really tightly. I don't want everything underneath that I created to be brown. I want to keep that pop of peach underneath. And notice how I'm not bringing it in all the way into my eyes. I'm stopping a little further than the center, because I want to keep it nice and open. Take a fluffier brush and just make sure that everything is nice and blended. I'm going to add a little bit of the Marc Jacobs mascara on my lower lash line. Not doing too much though. I'm pretty much done with my eyes and I just want to wrap up this look. So I'm going to go in with my Marc Jacobs Perfect Tan Bronzer. And I'm going to go right over the contoured areas again, just to set them and to deepen them once more. I'm going to take my M573 brush and go right over my nose contour again, just to set that in place as well. I'm going to take my favorite blush by NARS in Orgasm, and I'm just going to go right over my little cheekbones. I'm using the E4 brush by Morphe. It's really soft. I do recommend it for blush and for bronzer as well. It's a really nice fluffy brush to work with. And for my lips, I'm going to take my liner by MAC in Strip Down. Just going to line my lips there. And I obviously need a new one because I'm down to the last. Lastly, for my lips, I'm going to use the KKW Nude 2. I'm just going to go right over my lips and a little bit over my liner. I'm going to go back in with my Morphe brush, the E4. Just make sure everything is blended in my blush area. I do like to bring that in the tip of my nose and even the temples of my forehead, right over here, just so that everything looks nice and complete. And I'm also going to make sure that there's nothing left on the brush. Wipe away. Take some translucent powder. Make sure that everything is nice. I want my makeup to stay in place all day. And I don't want to get oily throughout the day, so I'm just going to make sure that I get in between my forehead, my T-zone area, the ridges of my nose, my chin. So this is my final look. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe.